Crazy God story. One of my friends, Steve, recently passed away, and his wife told this crazy God story about him at his memorial service. Years ago, when Steve and his family moved to Texas, they were living in a travel trailer that they pulled with Steve's red truck. Every truck Steve ever owned was red. Eventually, Steve decided he needed to buy a new generator, so he found the one he wanted. It was $400. He saved that up and headed into town to buy it. On his way to the store, there was a guy in a wheelchair on the opposite side of the road rolling down the sidewalk, and the Holy Spirit said, "Go ask him what he needs." Steve's response was, "Well, I'm on my way to buy a generator. I'll do it later." And the Holy Spirit again said, "Go ask this guy what he needs." So Steve obeyed. He turned his truck around, pulled up next to the guy, rolled his window down and said, "What do you need?" The guy cursed Steve out. Not deterred, Steve pulled his truck over, got out and said, "Hey, look, God told me to ask you what you need, so what do you need?" The guy looked at him and said, "I need a new wheelchair." Steve looked at his wheelchair. It was falling apart. The seat was coming apart. It was held together by bungee cords. It had cardboard that he was sitting on because of the holes in the seat, and Steve said, "All right, you know what? I know where there's a medical supply place. Let's go." Steve got the guy and his wheelchair loaded into his red truck and headed to the medical supply place. And the whole time, the guy that he picked up was pretty skeptical. When they got to the medical supply place, Steve got the guy out. They went inside, and the sales guy said, "What do y'all need?" Steve said, "Well, I need a new wheelchair for my friend." And it wasn't just any wheelchair. It was a special wheelchair. The guy was a double amputee, had balance problems, so he had to get a special one. The guy says, "I got exactly what you need." Comes out from the back with a red wheelchair, and the sales guy was like, "This is exactly what he needs. It's $5,000. Steve was like, "I don't have that much money. What do you have that's maybe used?" The guy said, "Well, we just got one on trade." So he goes to the back, comes back with the exact same red wheelchair that was just slightly used, and the sales guy was like, "This one I'll let you have for $400. Needless to say, Steve did not get his generator that day, but he led that man to Christ. The guy became a friend of their family. They knew him for years and years and years, and he continued to follow Jesus until he decided one day he was going to roll his wheelchair across the U.S., and they never heard from him again. Steve obeyed the Holy Spirit, and God ended up taking that act of obedience and multiplied it. The guy in the wheelchair that he led to Christ became a follower of Jesus and ended up leading many more people to Christ. If Steve wouldn't have obeyed God when God told him to, Steve would have missed out on getting to be used by God. He wouldn't have had the $400, and the guy probably already would have been gone. God looks for people who are willing to obey him, and those are the people that he uses.